down, son, and get knocked out like your father used to.
D, this motherfucker on me, all right? D.
Yo, Cap! You know that nigga Tebow had Red's bike for like 2 weeks, right?
You told me, yeah.
So listen, we out there shooting dice and shit. Me, Tebow, Knock.
roll your dice, nigga. Come on, bro.
Yo, man, listen. I'm winning so much, I'm gonna need another nigga to count it for.
All right, nigga,
Yeah,
roll
man.
them dice.
Yeah, 9. I won.
You what?
I lost.
Here, roll the dice.
Yo, Tebow.
Here,
Talk to me for a minute.
here, hold my money.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit, nigga.
Bruh, tripping, man. He talking about he want them breakdowns from the class the other day. You know I wasn't even tripping.
What breakdowns?
The precepts, the one I was asking you about.
Oh, those presets. I didn't know you wanted them. They're right here, homie. Follow me.
Word. Yeah. Word, man. Appreciate it, man. You know, we didn't do a group or anything. We still want West. We just gonna go by a different name.
Oh, shit! You got knocked the fuck out! Oh shit, this nigga, yo! God damn!
What you want, some too, young man? No.
Man, I told you about coming around here messing with One West, man. They not crazy. They don't love everybody. Get the fuck in
They got in the car, nigga, we was dying.
the fuck up, Cat, yo.
That shit was crazy.
Hey, what's good, Zariah, man? What's up?
Get your ass up.
Oh, man, you always be tripping. What's going on, man?
What's good, Red?
Man, they was clowning you at work today, man.
So?
Man, we watched the video a couple times, but we really couldn't tell if it was you.
Yo, how's your eye?
Oh, it's cool.
God damn! What's up, Op? What's up, Op? Yo, let me get one of them flyers, man. Man, I ain't giving you shit. You better get the hell out of here before Cat Pop come out here. Man, come on, man. Why you gotta be like that, man? I'm trying to come to class, man. Why you acting crazy?
Man, you need to go do that.
Man, I ain't giving him shit.
Man, what? Man, you ain't gonna give me shit. We need brothers to come to class.
Damn, man. Ite me yato me tararo tato. Man, you fucking racist, man. Give me this goddamn flyer, man. You acting crazy, home. Man, fuck you. Oh, shit. Tebow, nigga.
What? Who?
Tebow.
Damn, I ain't been to class in a minute. Shit. Oh, shit.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Red? Thanks for the bike. What you got on my ties, homie?
Man, I ain't got nothing.
I thought you already collected the time.
I did, but I want Red's 10%.
Stall him out.
What's up, Red? What you got on my ties, homie?
I ain't got nothing, man.
Oh, yeah, you got
Yeah. Clap it up. Clap it up. Yes, sir. Back in the building. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Barakathum. Yahweh Shamar Elathah Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. To my sisters, I am priest and Officer 500, Radah, Iwalum of the ISUPK, under Commandant General Yohana. And this is Tuesday night's Brotherhood class. You understand? I want to thank each and every one of y'all for those who are tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, and on TikTok. You understand? So we doing 3 different streamings all going at one time. You understand? I appreciate the likes, appreciate the thumbs up, appreciate the sharing, appreciate all of it. You understand? So tonight's Brotherhood class tonight, we're going to do part 2 of understanding the Shield of David. You understand? If you missed it last week, all you got to do is subscribe to ISUPK Athens on Facebook and on YouTube. You understand? I dropped the class last week going into part 1, basically going into the different idol worshipings that the Lord was against. So now this week tonight, we're actually going to get the scriptures on where this comes from and let you know what it actually means. All right. So now, without further ado, we're going to go to Amos chapter 5, verse 26, and picked up exactly where we left off from last week. You understand? We're going to get into the meat and the potatoes of the actual Shield of David, what it means, where it comes from. Is it unlawful? Is it sorcery? You understand? Is it satanic? We're going to get into all of that. You understand? And we got into quite a bit of scriptures last week, you know, breaking those things down. You understand? So once again, this is part 2 of understanding the Shield of David. All right. And we're going to start with Amos chapter 5, verse 26. All right. So now this is Amos chapter 5, verse 26. It says, but ye have borne the tabernacle of your Molech and your Chian, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. All right. I'm going to read that again. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 26. It says, but ye have borne the tabernacle of your Molech and Chian, your images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. All right. So now, to understand this precept, let's break down what a tabernacle is. All right. So what is a tabernacle according to this scripture? Okay, so a tabernacle, right? A tabernacle is a place of worship or a sanctuary. Okay. What Amos is saying is you made these stars unto yourselves. You understand? And who were the stars that we made unto ourselves? Molech and Chian, your images. You understand? Molech and Chian were 2 gods, like superstars among us, like American Idol. Okay. These were idols that people worshiped as gods. Okay. They were famous during this time. They were no different than a rapper, you understand, becoming a superstar. Okay. They were no different than a rapper becoming a superstar or a basketball all-star. You understand? A movie star. You know, you got the Hollywood Walk of Fame star on the floor. You understand? I believe Morris Chestnut just recently got his star on the Walk of Fame. And the brother before him was Martin Lawrence. You understand? Those are Hollywood stars. Those are famous people. You got pop stars. All these different stars are famous people who are worshipped by who? They were worshipped by public demand. You understand? They were worshipped by public demand. Molech and Chian were no different in the scriptures. This had nothing to do with the Shield of David because it said the star of your God. Okay. This Shield of David, this right here, this comes from the seal of David. All right. Now, what is a seal? A seal comes from every king. All right. What do I mean when I say a seal comes from every king? You got a seal on your birth certificate. All right. You got a seal on your driver's license. You got a seal on your social security card. You got a seal on every legal document in America. And guess what the shield of David is? The shield of David is David's seal. You understand? David's name in the Hebrew is Da-Wadah. You understand? It's not a star. This right here is an actual word, right? So if you take his Hebrew name, Da-Wadah, you understand? And you write it on top of each other, it's 3 syllables that go into his name. And when you combine those 3 syllables in his name, you get the signet of David, or his signature. You understand? The Da in Hebrew looks like a triangle. You understand? It looks like a triangle. So just imagine, if you could see this, right? Just imagine the triangle, as you can see, right? The triangle. Okay, so that's the Da. Okay, Wa in the Hebrew means join together. Okay, so his name is Da-Wadah. So now you got another Da, but instead of writing a forward triangle, you're going to do an upside down triangle. So now you got 2 triangles that are overlapping together to create the Da-Wadah. Like I said, the Wa in the Hebrew means join together. So when you join the Da-Wadah together as a signet on top of each other, what do you get? You get the shield of David. You get his name. And who was David? David was a king with authority, with power. You understand? And when he was in power, when he was in charge, whenever something needed to get approved by a king, he would approve it by what? His signet or his signature, a stamp. You understand? Think about a postcard. When you send a postcard, you put a stamp on it. Or something needs to get approved by a king. What is it? Sorry, not a king, but a president. He put his signature on it to bypass certain laws. So when you put that spirit on the scriptures, when you hear the Da-Wadah, that's what that was. You understand? That's what it is. Much like these stars you see today in person, when you ask for an autograph, or when you pick up a prescription from a pharmacy store, who is it authorized by before you pick up that prescription from the pharmacy store? It's authorized by what? It's authorized by a doctor. You understand? His signature was his approval to disclose your medicine over the counter. You understand? That's what this is talking about. All right. So now let's drop that and we're going to go to Wisdom of Solomon. You understand? Now, Wisdom of Solomon is in the Apocrypha. All right. So I'm going to pull it up really quick for time's sake. All right. I'm going to go to Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha. We're going to go to the 13th chapter. And then we're going to, give me 1 second. Because I'm not sure if I could pull it up on my phone without it closing down TikTok while I'm streaming. You understand? Give me 1 second. Let's see. New Revised Standard. No, I don't understand that one, the King James Version. Let me see. Give me just a minute, y'all. I'm trying to upload this all on the computer while still streaming this all at one time. So that way I can get it in front of y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna go. No, that's not it. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Let's see. Let's try this one. See if this one will come up. This is it right here. All right, so now This is the Wisdom of Solomon, the 13th chapter, and we're going to start at verse 1. This is in the Apocrypha, part of the Old Testament. You understand? For those who are unfamiliar with the Apocrypha was 13 books of collective records that bridges the gap between the end of Malachi in the Old Testament and the beginning of Matthew in the New Testament. You understand? So the Apocrypha will be the middle section of the original King James 1611 Bible. You understand? So in that Apocrypha, there's a chapter known as Wisdom of Solomon in the 13th chapter. All right. And that's what we're going to read from. We're going to start at verse 1. And it says right here, it says, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of the Most High, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master. You understand? So this chapter, when you read down on it, this is the beginning of us worshiping objects. You understand? Things in the sky, worshiping the trees, worshiping the rocks, lions and, all those things, idol worshiping. You understand? If you don't have knowledge of understanding of the Most High, then your life is pointless. You understand? It has no meaning. It's similar to, looking at people in the world without this truth. You understand? And what do you see when you look at people, have conversations with people that are not in the truth, that's in the world? They're aware of the Israelites. They're aware of what the scripture says from maybe other Israelite camps. You understand? What do you see most people nowadays doing in the world that they shouldn't be doing? You understand? You see brothers, they're having intimacy with I gotta watch my language for TikTok's sake. You see brothers who don't know any better who are having intimacy with promiscuous women, so to speak. You understand? You see us, paying bills. You see us, partaking in abusive, partaking in substance of abuse. You understand? Or doing that to harm others. You understand? They put trust and hope in anything. You understand? Meaning they don't see the Most High's power in anything that He created. You understand? You're acknowledging everything else that's either in the sky, that's on the land, or in the sea, that you look up to as your idol, as your God, as your power, as this inanimate object supposed to give you wisdom and understanding if you go and pray to this thing, or you worship this thing, or you got a closet in your back room and you got all these different idols and different type of things that you go in there and you pray to and you get answers from and knowledge from. You understand? All these things are very, very old. Very, very old. I broke a lot of these scriptures down in Deuteronomy last week. If y'all go check out that video, you understand? So now we're going to read it from the top, right? It says, surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of God, and cannot out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. You understand? Like how you look in the sky, right? How do you look up in the sky and you see all those stars and you see the sun, you see the moon? You understand? Learn the profession of those things and you not know that there is a God up there. And you don't know that somebody put those things in order. You understand? It's crazy. You understand? Let's get more. Let's go to let's get verse 2. Let me get verse 2 pulled up real fast for y'all. All right. Give me just a second. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 13, and we're going to go to verse 2. Okay. It says, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world. You understand? Let's read that again from the top. It says, but deemed either fire or wind. You understand? Or the swift air or the circle of the stars, or the violet water, or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world. You understand? You look at the hurricanes, you look at, the tsunamis, you look at the tornadoes. Now, notice it says the circle of stars. You understand? The circle of stars. Think about what I just said. The circle of stars. So what are stars? So at night, right? At night, when you look up in the sky and you look at them stars, the scripture says the stars are circles of, it's a circle of the stars. So stars are what? Stars are not like this. According to the Bible, the scripture says the stars are balls of gas. You understand? They're balls of gas, meaning what? They don't have points. You understand? That gas gets hot and it turns into wildfires and it turns into heavy winds. Look at these things as being great in the earth as gods, is what Solomon is talking about. Meaning we worship in all of these elements. You understand? And it's foolish to believe that those things govern the world and not the Most High who created them. Can people be stars today? Can people be stars today? Absolutely. We just named a few. You understand? Now, can we prove it in the Bible? You know, I got the precept. You know, I can prove it. Can I prove that we can be stars today with a precept? I sure can. Let's drop this apocrypha, right? And we're going to go to Revelations 22 and 16. I'm going to show y'all the biggest star. Let me show you the biggest star. All right. I'm going to go to Revelations, the 22nd chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 16. I'm going to show y'all a star. All right. Let's get Revelations 22 and 16. Now, notice this is written in red, meaning what? For those who are Bible readers, when you read words that are written in red in the New Testament, that means this is Christ speaking. You understand? This is what Christ said out of his own mouth, and we're going to read it right now. This is Revelations 22 and 16. It says, I, Yahushua. For those who don't know who Yahushua is, Yahushua, for those who don't know, that's Jesus Christ. His name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. Okay, that's his name. Okay, so I, Yahushua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. Ooh-wee. The churches that Christ is talking about right here are the gatherings of the children of Israel who were scattered among those Greek cities that Paul was writing to. You understand? Christ said that he is the root and the offspring of David. You understand? Now, this is one of the clear-cut scriptures that debunks from Christ being born immaculate. Like he didn't come from a man and a woman having sex to conceive him. You understand? Why? How do we know that? Because when you read Matthew, the first chapter, what you'll read is Christ got generations. You understand? He's the son of Abraham, and he's also the son of David. What do we also know about Christ? That he's going to sit on the throne of his father, David. How can he have any of these lineages if he doesn't come from the seed, which is what the prophecy said in the Old Testament? You understand? Who is the root of David? The root of David is Adam. Adam is the root of David. You understand? And who is that offspring? That offspring is Christ. Christ comes from that offspring. You understand? Because he comes from the root of Adam, which is what he's talking about here. What did he also say? And the bright and morning star. Who is the bright and morning star? It's right there in front of you. His words are written in red. And he's telling who sent the angel to testify things unto us. It's Yahushua, or Jesus Christ. You understand? Christ is telling you that he is that bright and morning star. The star of this whole Bible, from the Old Testament to the New Testament. The King of Israel himself, Yahushua, Jesus Christ. That's who he is. Everybody understand? So now we're going to drop that and we're going to go to the book of Numbers. Okay. We're going to go to Numbers, the 24th chapter, and we're going to go, I'm going to say 17. We're going to go to 17. Okay. This is another precept talking about Christ. Okay. This is another precept. This is Numbers 24 and 17. It says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a what? A star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. You understand? So now question. We just read in Wisdom of Solomon about a star. You understand? Which is a circle of star. You understand? Meaning a ball of gas. We just went over that. So now question. Where the scripture says, there shall come a star out of Jacob. So my question to you, is there going to be a ball of gas coming out of the star of Jacob? Is there going to be a ball of gas coming out of the star of Jacob? Does anybody know? Does anybody online? Someone says no. Give that sister a hand. She said no. There will not be a ball of gas coming out of the star of Jacob. What about points on the star coming out of Jacob? You understand? There will be many people coming from Jacob and many stars from him, is what this is talking about. Everything that you read in the Bible it's all not literal. You understand? There are some points that are literal and there are some that are spiritual. You understand? Or allegory, so to speak. You understand? So this specific star that's going to come out of Jacob, this is talking about a person. You understand? This star is a specific star. This specific star that's going to come, that's going to descend from the lineage of Jacob, from the lineage of Abraham, from the lineage of David. This specific star is a very special person who will come from his lineage. This specific star that's going to rule with a scepter. You understand? A king was prophesied to come out of Jacob who would be a star. We're talking about Christ. You understand? That's who this is talking about. Prophesying that Christ was going to come from Jacob. You understand? So now let's look up the definition of the word seal. S-E-A-L. All right. For those who don't have a Zondervan Bible dictionary, so in the UPK, right, we're biblical scholars here. So a lot of words that we look up, there are some that we do look up that's on Google, but a lot of these biblical terms that you may be unfamiliar with, what you want to do is you want to get you a Zondervan Bible dictionary. You understand? And in this Bible dictionary, what we're going to look up is the definition of the word seal. S-E-A-L. All right. That's what we're going to look up. Okay. We're going to look up the definition of the word seal. Okay. So now I got it right in front of me. Okay. This is well, you might not be able to see this because I got a background on this TikTok live. So, but those who are on Facebook, on YouTube, y'all can see it. Okay. This is the Compact Bible Dictionary. I've got two of them. I got a small one and I got a big one. You understand? I got the small one because I know exactly what page it's on. All right. So now I'm on page 531 and we're going to read the definition of the word seal. S-E-A-L. And this is what it says. It says seal, device bearing a design, name, or some other words so that it can impart an impression in relief upon a soft substance like clay or wax, used as a mark of authority and authenticity on letters, to ratify a covenant, to protect books and other documents, to furnish proof of deputed authority and power, to seal doors as an official mark of ownership. That is the definition of the word seal that we just read in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary on page 531. You understand? So when we wear the seal of David or the shield of David, we're wearing a mark of authority. You understand? This lets us know that the children of Israel come in the king's name. That's why fake Israelite camps don't like wearing it, because they don't represent it. You understand? Meaning in the Israelite school of UPK under Commanding General Yohana, we do have the power and the authority right here under Commanding General Yohana. You understand? So now we're going to drop that and we're going to get 2nd Ezra 10 and 22. This is going to be a good one here. We're going to get 2nd Ezra 10 and 22, which is also in the Apocrypha, where I'm going to show you the shield of David. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me get it. So now before I read 2nd Ezra 10 and 22, which is in the Apocrypha, right? This is talking about Ezra, okay? So in this chapter, Ezra is going to be having a conversation with an angel, right? And he's talking to the Lord, asking, when are you going to stop the destruction that's happening from Israel, that's ruled over by other nations? You understand? And all the evil that we're suffering, right? And here's what he said. This is 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha. We're reading the 10th chapter, verse 22, okay? It says, our psaltery is laid on the ground. Our song is put to silence. Our rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out. The ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled. And the name that is called upon is almost profane. Our children are put to shame. Our priests are burnt. Our Levites are gone into captivity. Our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravished. Our righteous men carried away, our little ones destroyed. Our young men are brought in bondage, and our strong men are become weak. You understand? So now this is a pretty big paragraph. So now I'm going to break this down line by line so that you can understand, the oppression that we're going through during this time that Ezra was concerned about, what was happening to us, because we were still living unrighteously. You understand? And we were still suffering from all the evil that we've done against the Most High, that we were getting punished for. Okay? So now I'm going to go back to the top and I'm going to break this down. What scripture? So this scripture right here, this is 2nd Ezra. This is in the Apocrypha. 2nd Ezra, the 10th chapter, verse 22. All right. So now I'm going to read it back from the top and I'm going to break this down line by line so that you understand what this is talking about. Okay. So now this is 2nd Ezra chapter 10, verse 22. It says, our psaltery is laid on the ground. So now what is psaltery? Psaltery is musical instruments. You understand? Now, when you think about musical instruments, what do you need for music? You need guitar, a piano, drums, a beatbox. You understand? To make music. So right here it's saying our psaltery is laid on the ground. Our song is put to silence, meaning what? They've been laid to waste. We got no reason to sing and party. Why? Because we're being destroyed. You understand? Our songs are shut down. You understand? Because we're dying. You understand? When you're enslaved, when I don't think I can use that word for TikTok. In captivity, okay? We're being oppressed in captivity, so we don't have any reason to, play music and rejoice and be happy. You understand? Now, y'all are familiar with gospel music, right? Y'all familiar with gospel music. So whenever you think about music, when you read the Bible, if you're accustomed to going to church, right, or have seen a few church services, right, most church services, they have music. You understand? Now, this specific music that's in the Apocrypha that we're reading about, it wasn't gospel music. Okay, understand that first and foremost. This was not gospel music that we're talking about. It wasn't that kind of music that we were singing unto the Lord back then. How do we know that? Because if you know anything about the Most High, the Lord is a man of war. and the Bible. Exodus 15:3. You understand? The Most High is all about warfare, man. He's all about fighting against our enemies when we were keeping his commandments. You understand? And during this time, we were destroyed as well for being evil and wicked. We were suffering and we were dying. Why? Because we had heathens, we had other nations that were ruling over us. Everybody understand? Let's keep going. It says, our song is put to silence. Our rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out. You understand? The light of our candlestick. What is that talking about when it's talking about our candlestick? Our candlestick was the symbol of Israel, that everything was right with the Lord. You understand? The candlestick, right? The menorah. Well, not the menorah. Think about, for those who are familiar with Batman, all right? With Batman has a symbol. You understand? And his symbol, that symbol shine from the roof of a building. You understand? Of the GCPD building, right? If you go to the very top of the GCPD building, if you're a fan of Batman, they have a big strobe light. And when they cut it on, it has an image of the bat signet. And in that signet, it shines up in the sky. You understand? That's what that was. So our candlestick in Israel was the symbol that everything was right with the Lord. You understand? Wherever you was at in the city, as long as you could see this building at the top of a hill, as long as that building shined, you knew the city was safe. You understand? And at this time, according to this scripture, right, the light was burned out. The light was burned out. We weren't safe. We was in danger. We was being oppressed. We were being destroyed because of us being evil and wicked, right? The light of our candlestick is put out. Then it says the ark of our covenant is spoiled. You understand? What was the Ark of the Covenant? Y'all remember in the Old Testament, the Ark of the Covenant? What was inside of the Ark of the Covenant? It had the bones of our ancestors in it. It had, it had the staff that Moses used when he parted the Red Sea, and he performed all those curses on Egypt. You understand? Moses' staff was inside of that Ark of that Covenant. The power of the Lord was with it. You understand? How do we know that? Because we took it with us in battle and we never lost. What else was in the Ark of the Covenant? That jar of manna that fell from the sky that fed the Israelites when we were hungry, when we was in the wilderness. You understand? What else did it have? It had the Urim and Thummim. You understand? For those that don't know what a Urim and, I wish I had some on my desk. The Urim and the Thummim were dice. You understand? And those dice are what Moses carried with him to make decisions. You understand? You ever see brothers in the hood that be shooting dice and playing craps? Well, back then, that's what the Urim and the Thummim was. But the Urim and the Thummim, we use that to make decisions, to casting lots. So when you read about casting lots in the Bible, them were brothers together, boom, throwing the dice, making decisions. That's what we get playing craps from. That's what we get shooting dice from. It's in the Bible. That's why when you come to one of our cookouts and one of our events, guess what you're going to see brothers doing? You're going to see brothers shooting dice with the Urim and Thummim. You understand why? Because it was in our culture. It was in the Bible. That's why, like, if I could get off sidetrack for just a minute, man, big shout out to Captain Yatazak over there in Austin, Texas, over that whole zone. You understand? For that amazing cookout. I heard brothers and sisters had an amazing time. You understand? I participated in Austin, Texas, but I was on other business, you know what I mean, for what we do every Sunday. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna talk much about it, but long story short, they did an excellent service for that weekend when they hosted that fire cookout down there. You understand? And anytime when we have like upcoming events throughout our zones, that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see brotherhood. You're gonna see, you understand, everything that you see when you come into the UPK and see how we get down and roll. Everything is going to be biblical, man. It's no different than when you go out to your hood. When you go out to your hood, man, you're going to see brothers, shooting craps up against the wall. They're going to be gambling. They're going to be drinking, playing cards, talking shit. Yeah, excuse my French. You know what I mean? That's what we do. That's our culture. All that is in the Bible. So when you get around and then you see, you be like, dang, This is just like being back at home. The only difference is now you know where it comes from, and you can read it in the Bible and see the spirit on the brothers in the UPK of us actually living it and doing it. And it's like, damn, now you can go home and read the Bible. And when you read it, now you're reading the Bible with a different spirit, with a different zeal. You understand? Because the Lord put that spirit on you for the Bible. Now, when you read it, it comes to life. Now you can see everything versus not knowing what you're reading, or not knowing who the characters are, not knowing who the people are, not knowing who they originate from, as far as who they descend from. Now you know, because now you're learning. Now you're being taught. You understand? So now let's get back to it, right? Oh, another thing about the Urim and the Thummim. The Urim and the Thummim was what Moses carried, and Moses was also from the tribe of Levi, which is where you get Leviticus from, Levi. The Levites today would be the so-called Haitians. You understand? So now what else was inside of that Ark of the Covenant besides the staff, the power of the Lord? You understand? The jar of manna, the Urim and the Thummim. You had the broken shards from the 10 Commandments when Moses broke them in pieces from him being angry at us for breaking God's law. When he went up there, on the mountain, and when he came back down and we were worshiping that golden calf, when he broke it with his bare hands, that was in the Ark of the Covenant too. You understand? The symbol, let's see. Did I miss anything? The Ark of the Covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled, and the name that is cast upon us is almost profane. You understand? Let me see. And the name that is called upon us is almost profane. Right. You understand? Because, you know, the symbol of our nation's greatest accomplishments, right? They were all gone. All the things in the temple that we used to give sacrifices to the Lord to show our obedience, all of that stuff was destroyed, man. Every last bit of it. You understand? The scriptures also says what? And the name that is called upon us is almost profane. You understand? Now, to be known as an Israelite during that time, during the time of Esdras, it was shameful upon our people. You understand? Like, you went and told somebody that you was an Israelite during the time of Esdras when all this stuff was happening to us. It was shameful. You know why it was shameful? Because Israel being ruled over by other nations. You understand? We were ruled over by the Romans. You understand? In captivity under the so-called white man. You understand? What else? It says our children was put to shame. You understand? What were they calling us? They was calling us out of our names. You understand? Calling us N-words. N-word boy, N-word girls. You understand? Spics and disrespecting the so-called Hispanics, calling us wetbacks and no good for nothing. Like all the derogatory, disrespectful names that they called us today, they were calling us those names back then. You understand? Let's get more. It says what? It says our priests are burnt. You understand? Meaning what? They put us to death. They got, you know, we got put to death. It says our Levites are gone into captivity. You understand? Our virgins are defiled and our wives ravished. You understand? All the honorable, righteous men that stood with the Lord, they've been destroyed, or the people don't look at them honorably. You understand? Instead, what do we have in replacement of that? We got Bishop T.D. Jakes. We got Creflo Dollar. You got, you know, disgusting whore monsters, yeah, or whoremongers. You understand? That our people look up to as role models. You understand? Ain't no good, wholesome young black girls no more. They all thoughts. They all strippers. They all promiscuous women, and they full of whoever liked them on Instagram. Our women were out there. This is the time that we were living that was going on with us. Like, all these things are horrible. You understand? This was the time that Esdras was living in. You understand? What else does it say? It say our righteous men carried away. Carried away where? We was getting locked up. We were going to prison. We were going to jail. You understand? In captivity. You understand? Getting caught up in all these doctrines and all these other nations. You understand? What else did it say? Our little ones are destroyed. Our young men brought into bondage, and our strong men are become weak. Right? You understand? Because what's going on with our men today? Sisters, y'all know how these men are becoming nowadays. They're becoming weak. You understand? They becoming alternative lifestyles, loving everybody, interracial marriages. You understand? Our little ones are destroyed. They disrespecting, talking back to their parents, talking back to their mama because daddy ain't around. Man, oh my goodness. I wish I could have pulled up this video. Man, yesterday on Commander General Yohana. Big shout out to Commander General Yohana. You understand? For those who are not subscribe to the real Commander General Yohana. He comes out every Monday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. You understand? And bringing us up to date on all the news that is happening with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I saw this video of this kid. You understand? And he had to be no more than, I don't know, 13, 14 years old. You understand? And it was a video of this, of his mother. His mother was on, she was recording live, right? And on this live, her son was so disrespectful, saying, you know, you can't kick me out the house. You can't tell me what to do. Yada, yada, yada. You my mom and I'm your son. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing. Man, listen, my blood was boiling. Like, if my boy, listen, I'm not going to say what I would have did, but the spirit behind that is this. Like, our men and our children are being destroyed. Why? Because they want to be, because they think they tough. They, you know what I'm saying? They want to be, they think they tough. They think they don't need nobody. They think they don't need no supervision. They don't need no discipline. You understand? Spare the rod. There you go. Spare the rod. Ain't nobody sparing the rod no more. Ain't nobody doing it no more. Remember, this is during the time that Ezra was living, that he was living in, that this was going on. You understand? You got our men don't want to be accountable, don't want to be responsible, don't want to take care of their kids. They out here being weak. You understand? They're living alternative lifestyles. They putting on apparel that belong to women that don't belong to men, wearing skinny jeans. They sensitive about everything, just like a woman. It's like they got to fight in this generation. You understand? All right, what did it say? Our young men was, taken into bondage, taken by everything. You understand? That's why Jeremiah said in Jeremiah 14:2, it says, Judah mourning, our gates thereof languish. You understand? Ain't nobody out here protecting us. When you read the scripture where it says Judah mourning, that's specifically talking about so-called Negroes. You understand? Israelites in general, we are the ones that are in mourning. That's also a cut to let you know the difference between what a Jew is. Jew is short for Judah. You understand? Judah comes from Jacob. Judah was the fourth son from Jacob. The so-called Jew, or the so-called small hats, what we call them in the UPK, there's no way that they can be Jews. You know why? Because they don't descend from Jacob. They don't descend from Jacob. Judah descends from Jacob, hence the name Jew. That's where that comes from. So how can Esau descend from another man that he does not come from? Which is a clear cut. Mourning means to be sad. Mourning means to be in mourning and oppression. You understand? When you look at the small hats today, they're not in mourning. They're in rulership. They own the Diamond District. They own all the banks, the credit card unions. You understand? The banks, your house, your mortgage, these Fortune 500 companies, the oil, you name it. They got their hand in everything. The music industry, the entertainment industry, the sports industry, the social media. You understand? They own everything. Why are they in mourning? They're not in mourning, which lets you know they're not the real Jews. You understand? Our gates thereof language. When you think about a gate, the purpose of a gate is to protect what's on the outside from coming in on the inside. So when you think spiritually, reading that scripture where it says our gates thereof languish, what's not protecting us anymore? You understand? Our leadership. You understand? Your leaders are not on the front line speaking out against our oppressor. Why? Because his loyalty and his allegiance is tied to our oppressor's money. It's tied to his money. He can't speak against the powers that be. Why do you think when we come out on the front lines and say the things that we say, oh, no, brother, you can't say that. No. See. Y'all got to stop talking about the white man. Y'all got to stop saying all that stuff. Y'all got to stop doing that. You know why? Because his money is tied to his pockets. Of course, he's going to obey and get down with him because he's paying him. But when the lights are turned off and when it's time to take the suit off and everything at night, guess what they're doing? They're calling up Commander General Yohana and getting questions. Hey, Commander General Yohana, I just want to let y'all know, man, what y'all brothers are saying is right, man. But you know, on the front lines, I can't really say that. You know what I mean? But I'm really pushing and rooting for y'all. Who's an example that did that in the Bible? John the 3rd chapter, Nicodemus. The John 3:16 scripture where it says, for God so loved the world. And that's another thing. Like, people don't even understand who Christ was talking to when you read for God so loved the world. Christ wasn't talking to everybody. Christ was talking to Nicodemus. You understand? This was a man of a high reputation. He was a ruler of the Jews. You understand? He was famous. And a brother like him didn't even understand what it meant to become born again. When Christ said that you got to be born again to see the kingdom of heaven, Nicodemus, in all his wisdom and knowledge, because of his position in Israel, thought being born again meant that you got to enter your mother's womb again for the second time. That's your religious leaders today, man. That's them today. You understand? That's them. And they don't know anything, but they will come to you at night. They will come to you when they're not in the spotlight, when they're not on TV, when they're not on social media. They will find a way to get in contact with the UPK and tell us, hey, I just want to let you know, Commander General Yohana, thank you for your soldiers for being out there on them street corners and speaking against the powers that be, waking up brothers and sisters with this truth and changing brothers' lives and changing sisters' lives. The work that y'all are doing in this organization is absolutely amazing. You understand? We get it all the time. You understand? If anybody's going to be on the front lines and say and talk about these things, it's going to be the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohana. You understand why? Because we're free men over here. Ain't nobody going to tell us what we can and cannot say. Now, it's a little different on social media because, for one, this is for educational purposes. So there are some corners that we do have to cut to make sure that the information that we're putting out can be something that each and every one of y'all can learn from, you understand, and ask questions from, and hopefully get into the school to want to be a part of what we're doing. You understand? Because at the end of the day, the whole purpose of us doing this is because we want to serve the Lord, and we're occupying until our King Yahushua returns. You understand? That's what we're doing. You understand? The scripture says before Christ returns, there shall be a falling away first. You understand? You're gonna know who the devil is in the earth. You're gonna know who your enemies always have been since the beginning. You understand? The Bible clearly tells you that we have enemies. The problem is America don't want you to believe that that we don't have any enemies. Because if that was true, they would not be preparing to head into World War III with them third world countries. If we don't have any enemies, even America knows that they got enemies, but they don't want you to believe that we have enemies because they want you what? All this back and forth and this black versus white and religion versus religion, like all that's crazy. Like we all bleed the same color. We live amongst each other. Can't we just all get along? No, we can't get along. Why don't we just trust each other? We can't trust each other. You understand? You know why? Because we've been trying to trust our oppressor for many, many years. You understand? Placating to what he wants for him to accept us and going against and compromising every damn thing that we were taught just so that they can accept us. At the end of the day, what do? They always go behind our back and end up destroying us any damn way. Anyway, you understand? Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, it's time to wake up and understand that you have enemies. You understand? Christ, listen, the greatest man to walk on the face of the earth, Jesus Christ, who the world ignorantly known as Yahushua, if he walked the earth for over 30-something years and he had enemies, what in the F make you think you don't have enemies? Christ was hated. You understand? That's what people don't understand. Like people always want to revere, oh, Christ is my Christ, Christ is my everything. Christ is my rock. Oh, I love Jesus. Oh, I love, 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 love. But nobody wanted to do anything Christ said. Nobody wanted to keep the commandments like he told us to keep the commandments. Nobody wants to put their pride to the side and be like, look, this is what it is. This is what we're going to do going forward. Nobody wanted to do that. You think the religious leaders who were put in charge, who had authority in them churches, wanted to listen on Christ? They hated Christ. You know why? Because who was our religious leaders' money tied to? Our oppressor, the Romans today. You understand? Which is the small hats. You understand? Many of those churches that you go into every Sunday, those churches are financed by the Romans. You understand? The Roman Catholic Church, they're financing all those miniature buildings. Not miniature buildings. Think about a family tree. You understand? And all the way at the top is the Roman Catholic Church. And from the Roman Catholic Church are different branches of denomination of churches. When you look at any denomination of churches, when you go back to where it all starts from and who's actually in charge of it, it's the Roman Catholic Church. They finance those churches. Why do you think they can't talk about certain things in those churches? You know why? You can't debate religion. You can't talk about the LGBT community in the churches. You know why? Because they're going to get offended, and they have laws that are put in place to protect them. And if you keep bullying them, guess what's going to happen? They can shut you down. Not only can they shut you down, when people start leaving their church, what do pastors look for when people leave out of their churches? They know when people start leaving, money starts going with them too. Your wallet is leaving with that man. That purse is leaving with that woman. That building is not going to get paid. Your salary is not going to get paid. That money is not going to be enough to pay for your bills and pay for that expensive car and pay for them nice shoes and pay for them nice dresses for your wife that she loves to wear, or that nice perfume that you love for smelling like. You understand? It's not going to be enough money to afford putting all your kids through college where they don't ever have to worry about taking out a student loan to go to college and pay for it. You understand? That's all that they were worried about. And when Christ spoke against what the Sadducees and Pharisees were doing, that's when he became a target. That's when they wanted to get rid of him, because they knew what Christ was saying was too strong. It was too powerful, where they couldn't refute what he was saying was right. That's why they was always so angry, and they had to get together and figure out, what the hell are we going to do about this brother? He's unstoppable. We can't do anything with him, because if he keeps going at this rate, Caesar is going to remove us out of our seat. You understand? And that's what happened. So now understand, when you decide to come into this lifestyle and decide to serve Christ, you understand? Just know the world is going to hate you. They are going to hate you. You understand? And that is why your leaders are not on the front lines speaking out against our oppressor. Why? Because, like I said, his loyalty, it's tied to our oppressor's money. You understand? He'd rather let you suffer than for him to suffer for you. He'd rather you suffer than to give his all for you. That's who the world highly respects and adores. Religious leaders who are too weak and too afraid to stand up for the Lord's chosen people. Everybody understand? Let's get more. Verse 23. We're still in 2nd Esdras, the 10th chapter, verse 23. It says, and which is the greatest of all. So now, the greatest of all, everything that I just broke down line by line, you thought that shit was bad. Verse 23 says, and which is the greatest of all. All those things that I just read, those are terrible, but there's something that's greater than all of what you just heard. And which is the greatest of all, the seal of Zion, the shield of David, have now lost her honor, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. There is something that is far more destructible and wicked than everything that we just read about. We're talking about the seal of Zion, talking about the shield of David. You understand? What does this symbolize? This is the symbol of our nation, what everybody recognizes as us. This shield of David represents the 12 tribes. The glory that you see, you associate it with the people of the Bible. You understand? Which are the real Jews. You understand? What did it say in the scripture? It lost its honor. How the hell did the shield of David or the seal of Zion lose its honor? How did it lose it? Because it's been given to the people that hate us. It didn't say the people that love us. It said the people that hate us. It's talking about the shield of David. What do people say about the shield of David when they see it? If you wear one, oh, it's a 6-point star. It's evil. It's wicked. It's satanic. Oh, it's of the devil. Who walks around? Who walks around with this right here? Besides us in the UPK, who walks around with this seal? Our oppressor. You understand? The small hats. Biblically, their name is they're from the tribe of Amalek. You understand? The small hats, their biblical name, they descend from the tribe of Amalek. They descend from Esau, which is the so-called white man in the Bible. But if you're gonna go by tribe, they're from the tribe of Amalek. Okay, that's where the small hats come from. Israel's greatest enemy in the Bible. That's in the Bible. The greatest enemy in the Bible to the Most High is the tribe of Amalek, the small hats. You understand? He's the one that's running around behind the camp, unaliving the old and the young. You understand? The one the Lord said would block our name out from heaven. Who hates us the most? Who calls himself the Jew? Who has a flag? Who has a flag hanging in the United Nations with this seal on it? That's the worst thing that's happened to our people. Why? Because the men today that wear the seal of Zion, they are the greatest, they are the strongest, and they are the most honorable men on the earth. You understand? Now, what do our people say about it? Man, y'all got that witchcraft around y'all neck. You know, that's satanic. You a fool if you think I'm gonna wear that in public. Nigga, you crazy. I'm not wearing that. This is the shield of David. The shield of David. You understand? When you wear the shield of David, what is it? When I wear the shield of David, what does it mean? What does it say to everybody that sees it other than it's fly and it's glorious on me? It means that I'm a Hebrew Israelite and I stand for the authority of David. I come in the name of Christ that sits on the throne of David, who's the king that sits on his throne. And who does it represent? You understand? This represents Christ, the greatest man that ever walked on this planet. So guess what? I'm not having I gotta get my verbiage right for TikTok's sake. I'm not having intimacy with promiscuous women. You understand? I'm not getting high. I'm not unaliving nobody. I'm not doing that to nobody. You understand? I'm not loving, you understand, the Caucasian woman. I'm not sleeping with a Caucasian woman. You understand? This represents so much that anybody that's against it, it's against, you understand? Anybody that's against it is against Christ. You understand? That is the shield of David. That is what this means. And that is why we wear it. You understand? That is what this means. The shield of David. Now, I have actually went over my time. You understand? So I'm going to end this class tonight. Once again, I say a thank you. You understand? For those who have been tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, and on TikTok. You understand? I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. I'm going to close the class out. All right. Let me go ahead and end this class. All right. So now I'm going to end this class the way we do it in the UPK. All right. So a majum, which means to stand in the Hebrew, I'm going to close it out and do a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, a majum Shabbat, a majum Barak, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Now, what I just said in Hebrew was, may the Most High bless you in the name of Christ. Yazmatah means hands down. I'm going to give a courtesy to the sisters that are online. Men of Israel, a majum Shabbat, a majum Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alatah Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And what I just said in Hebrew was, may the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Yazmatah means hands down. Class dismissed. And with that, Shalom Israel.
We want no cowards in our camp,